Start. Hello, everyone. This is Team Nike. My name is Jonathan Collins,
My name is Justin Collins.
I'm Walter Briggs.
And I'm Corey Otterson.
and we're here today to present to you about Nike's marketing strategy. Nike is an American multinational corporation that engages in design development, manufacturing, worldwide marketing, and sales of many different products. They were founded in the 1960s by Bill Bowerman and Phil Knight. They were originally known as Blue Ribbon Sports before officially becoming Nike in the 1970s. Their headquarters is in Beaverton, Oregon, where Bill Bowerman and Phil Knight first met, right? And their most signature logo is the Nike swoosh, which everybody recognizes Nike for. To start our in-depth analysis into Nike's marketing strategy, we need to do a SWOT analysis, which assesses the internal and external factors of the Nike brand. We're going to be taking an in-depth analysis in their strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. First, we're going to give it to Justin to start with the strengths of Nike.
Thank you, Jonathan. So what you see here are the three core to the strengths of Nike's marketing. Is their innovation, product motivation, and brand ambassadors. And we're going to first start off with innovation. Innovation. Innovation is Nike sees as the opportunity to reimagine how fans and consumers interact with their product. Right, as you can see here in the two pictures displayed, these are Nike's houses of innovation. One located in New York City on Fifth Avenue, the other one in Shanghai, where they offer an only here experience where you get to where you as a customer get to interact in many different ways with Nike's product. Nike's also trying to make sure that they innovate by encouraging conversation amongst their consumers by creating the world's first hijab, which makes consumers think about how they should be more inclusive or how sports should be more inclusive of their athletes and consider it in this case of Muslim athletes. And these are prime examples of Nike's innovation. Now we can move on to product motivation and brand ambassadors. Product motivation and brand ambassadors. Nike's been ranked 2 years in a row, 2018 and 2019, in Brands Finance top 50 most valuable apparel brands, beating companies out like Zara, their top competitor Adidas, and that's just showing that they have done it consecutively. Nike also brand ambassadors who are all global names, with names like LeBron James, Cristiano Ronaldo, Neymar, Kevin Durant, Serena Williams, are well-known athletes both domestically and globally. And if you look at Nike's top 15 sponsored athletes, they combined for a social media following of over 1 billion followers and generate over 3 billion engagement on social media annually. That's how wide and fast Nike's message is getting out through their brand ambassadors. We did a survey, our student survey, where we surveyed 122 respondents and asked them what motivates them to want to wear Nike. And the top two responses, just like shown with product motivation brand ambassadors, was style and athletes. And that is a prime example of what Nike is doing to make sure that they market themselves, and it is a strength that they have been playing to for years. And now Jonathan with the weaknesses.
Nike's weaknesses, just like Nike's strengths, come from internal, from inside the company. And as you can see in the bullets before you, Nike's weakness really stems from labor and workplace conditions. Most notably, as many people may know across the world, Nike's had a bad reputation of, poor working conditions in foreign country factories. It really started in the 1990s when a detailed report came out about how they had poor working conditions, sweatshops in their Indonesian factories, and really turned a lot of heads away from the Nike company. 2 years ago, Nike actually fell underneath lawsuits, EEOC violation, and sexual harassment complaints by over 500 women employees, right? And when you think about the woman market for Nike, it's actually a growing market segment for them, right? And that it kind of really slowed down due to these, lawsuits. And it was very surprising probably to many people because when you look at Nike and their brand ambassadors, right, you think of, as you can see up top, a woman like Hope Solo, former USA goalkeeper and Nike sponsored athlete. Allison Felix, current USA track and field runner, and once again, a Nike-sponsored athlete. But yet, internally in the company, Nike was not supporting their women workers, right? Women leadership was very, very low. And due to all these things, actually, their former president, right, Mr. Edwards, had to step down as president, along with 10 other executives, due to these lack of paying attention to the women needs in the workplace and poor labor conditions. And as I was mentioning that bad reputation, right, in our survey, we asked, do people feel that Nike is an ethical brand? Can you align your values with Nike, right? And even though majority said yes, there's still a portion that says no, that they see Nike as an unethical brand. And that's because Nike's bad reputation has stuck with them. And no matter how much, they try to fix it, right, it's a very slow, changing the perspective of some of their former customers, because they don't see Nike as ethical and they cannot align with their values. And that's why, fixing weaknesses internally really can help brands reach their goal, because if not, they'll be pulled away from their goal. Next, we're going to go into Nike's opportunities.
So when dealing with the SWOT analysis of a company, its opportunities can be one of the biggest components that it could be used for going forward into the future. So this is a chance for the company can brainstorm and look into itself and figure out possibilities that they could capitalize moving forward. So one of the biggest current events today that a company like Nike can capitalize on has to do with the global pandemic that has to do with COVID-19, otherwise known as the coronavirus. So in most metropolitan areas around the world, this is shutting down most public places of interest. This includes gyms, most inside restaurants, and other types of open facilities. So with the spread of the virus, everybody is being advised to wear things like masks, gloves, and other types of germ-resistant clothing. And obviously, Nike's already known for the gear and clothing that they produce today. So they could kind of just shift their motives and start focusing on stopping the spread of the virus. And they're already such a big global brand, so this would be easy for them to get their products out to their customers since they're already established. And on top of that, this is going to have a great effects on their bottom line and their brand image, also attracting customers in which they probably wouldn't have before. Besides the stopping the spread of it, the biggest thing in order to stay healthy in times like this during the pandemic is exercise. With most gyms and recreational facilities closed down today, this is a great opportunity for Nike to capitalize on. So with such a social media following that they have with their brand ambassadors and everything, they could use this with apps like social media, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, and everything. They could start home workout movements as well as other fitness exercises that they could get everybody involved, from kids to adults to grandparents. So this is the great opportunities that they could have, but they also have to deal with the threats that come with it.
Thank you, Walter. So as far as threats, similar to opportunities, threats are external factors that can have an impact on the organization, right? So when we're looking at threats, we can say threats are anything that can damage an organization or its product. When examining Nike, we see that Nike has 4 main threats. Those threats are number of competitors, fashion fads, online shopping, and macroeconomic trends. As far as number of competitors, as we see on the screen, Nike has major competitors such as Adidas, Champion, Puma, Fila, Under Armour, companies like that, in which they also sell similar products to Nike, right? And the only thing that really separates Nike is their logo and what they have as a brand, right? As far as fashion fads are anything within a society that causes people to migrate from one place to another, right? So in 2017 and 2018, we saw that there was a major rise in the increase of people who were buying Champion, right? It was sort of a fad in which people were going back to what we saw in the 90s, where Champion actually dominated the space, right? So if a fashion fad came out and said that Nike was no longer relevant and wasn't as hot as a brand such as Adidas or Champion, Nike can actually lose a lot of their customers. The next threat that we see within Nike is their online shopping. Online shopping actually now dominates brick and mortar shopping, right, within the US as of April 2019. With that being said, Nike has over 1,100 stores worldwide, and they also put their products in stores such as Macy's, and other stores such as like Dick's Sporting Goods, where those stores are beginning to shut down because people don't shop there as often. That is a big threat because people are now not exposed to Nike as they used to be. And when they do online shopping, they can then compare competitors such as Adidas and Champion to see how they relate as far as specs and pricing with Nike. This means that people are easier to transfer over to another product rather than Nike because of that. Right. The last threat that we see is macroeconomic trends. As we saw and as Walter talked about with the coronavirus, right, with COVID-19, we see that Nike has been affected because people aren't shopping, as they used to, because now they have to save money for other important goods, right? Nike is an elastic good in which when we have macroeconomic trends that affects the company, people aren't likely to spend their money there anymore. So Nike has to make sure that they are, always making sure that they are taking advantage of these trends by knowing what is going on and always watching the news. So after we talk about threats, right, we're now going to speak about the 4 Ps. And the 4 Ps, we have a product, place, pricing, and promotion. So Justin is going to speak to you guys a little bit about the product of Nike.
And product, Nike's built up a product mix. So right now, Nike's product mix is their shoes, apparel, equipment, and accessory. These are the products that are given out to consumers. This is an example of their product. So looking at how people look at Nike's products is another aspect of it is the quality and satisfaction that Nike's products offer to consumers. As you can see, based off our survey of the 122 participants, people are very satisfied and rank Nike's products very high quality. And like I said before, Nike's always trying to reimagine their products to have variety, just like you can see with their shoes, be open-minded by making sure they enhance women's sports bras and like different equipment to like create the Nike's Runners app to make sure they can keep up with people's everyday life. And now we will go forward on to the next P.
So this is where place and the distribution come into play. So when you're talking about the place and distribution of a company, this is a huge deciding factor on whether or not the company is attracting and retaining customers. So essentially, this is how and where they're getting their products to the people that represent their company. So in order for your company to be successful, they have to come up with a strategy that meets the needs and the demands of their customers, as well as be around for it to be readily available. So this has to do with retail stores, outlets, and other online opportunities. So Nike does a great job with using all different types of varieties. So they're a big enough company where they can use the retail stores and have online store base. So they use companies like Walmart, Target, and Foot Locker to get their products out to their people, and there's physical stores that their customers could come in and try on the product, and that has a great benefit for avoiding any type of confusion or not really getting the product that they thought they were getting. So Nike also has customers in regions of the world where there's not really physical stores that are readily accessible to their customers, but they still want to be a part of the Nike brand. So this is their way of having actual Nike websites where these customers can go on and still look at and customize the products that they want to have. Now, this is a great opportunity for Nike. Obviously, it's successful over the years. It's kind of limited because these retail stores, they have last say on what product that a company like Nike actually puts into the physical stores. But that, some recommendation we have for Nike for moving forward is that they can start having more components for the youth athletes of the world. So, as you can see on the screen, this looks like a basketball camp that Nike is hosting, and this is something that the brand would actually resonate with the athletes growing up for the rest of their lives. They'll actually have some type of brand loyalty. So as they move higher throughout their careers, they're gonna have like a bias and already a love for Nike that will stick with them, and they'll keep using their products over the years as they grow up. And on top of the placement and distribution methods, For Nike, there's also the pricing thing they have to worry about.
So pricing, Nike has two prime pricing strategies, which is value-based pricing, which is basically assessing how customers see their products, and then premium pricing, basically selling their products higher than their competitors. So, for example, Nike products will typically be higher than Adidas products, right? Because that's the biggest competitor, and right. But both of them look at their customer market to figure out how they should set their products overall. Now, even though Nike does this, right, they assess their customers' view of their products, right, they also, the reason why they sell at a premium is so, people can really feel how much time they put into their products, the quality of the products, and the innovation that goes into it. But this has an adverse effect, right? We asked our participants, do they think Nike products are priced fairly? Majority said no, right? They feel Nike's products are too expensive, right? And there's too much price that goes into it when they can get another brand of a lower price, right? Even if, Nike has a higher quality and more innovation, the price seems too much for, let's say, most of our participant college students. So a college student, the Nike price seems too much. But there's a way to mitigate that, right? Nike has clearance stores, they have outlet stores that offer a lot of sales on their products, right? Which will draw back in all those customers that are pulled away by the high prices. Because by offering discounts and sales, especially during holiday season, Nike's able to wheel in back those customers that may feel unsure about the company, right? And by continuing this, they're really able to continue having those high prices and selling at a premium, and while at the same time attracting customers overall. And then lastly, we're going to go over Nike's promotion.
So as far as Nike's promotion, this is how Nike gets their brand across to their customers. The first way is with brand ambassadors. So brand ambassadors, as we spoke before, are people like LeBron James and Serena Williams, who have large followings and wear Nike products and endorse these products for their followings to actually wear these products and feel like they can be the next LeBron James and Serena Williams as well. The next way that they use is loyalty programs. Loyalty programs such as Nike ID, Nike Plus, in which, as you spend more and more with Nike, you get some free items from Nike for doing that, right? They also have a loyalty program with their Nike Run Club, in which, the more you work out and the more you run and have good stats and meet your goals, you also receive discounts through Nike as well. The next way is with technology, right? They're been able to promote their brand with the use of technology. In fact, they actually just collabed with Apple to create a Nike Apple Watch in which people can use it for, running and their fitness experience. And now people resonate, having that Nike Apple Watch and having that sort of technology for their fitness goals. And the last way Nike does their promotion is through empowerment. They like to empower the everyday person to think that they can be better than what they currently see themselves as, right? So one thing Nike says is that anyone with a body is an athlete, right? And Nike does that to say that, no matter who you are or where you come from, we're all the same and we can all achieve the things that we want to be. And if we put our mind to it, right, if we just do it, we'll be able to, be that next, pro athlete that we want to be or do the things that we want to do in life, right? So with that being said, that concludes Nike's marketing mix as well as their SWOT analysis.